Hi guys, from time to time I do soap extras, and I named this one Bold because I'm going to talk about Bold. But I have done YNR extras too. It just depends on if I have extra thoughts, because like I said before, I can go long-winded, and some of my videos last 15 minutes because I really delve into storyline. So sometimes I split it up into two separate videos so they're not so long. Okay. So I wanted to go back over what I think might happen next week. And I only touched on it because I'm at the end of the episode on Fridays. They say, and coming up, and they give you little blips about what. But like I always say, I don't know what days each thing is going to happen, so that's where I don't know. And then it's kind of a fun, I make it a fun game because I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen today? Which moment are they going to talk about? But Sean Kanan, he's really into martial arts. I mean, really into it. So it's kind of interesting. I can't wait to see him do that next week. Now, I think I talked about this a little bit before. Well, I talked about it in the fact that um, soap operas and movies, basically anything you see on TV, they have um, paint, or sometimes they'll do capsules of a red liquid that looks like blood, but it's not. And the reason it brought to mind was because of what happened with Liam's character today, where he was bleeding from the back of his head. And I said, don't worry, it's not blood because it's fake blood. And so, if, which I know this is not going to happen, I'm sure they practiced a bunch of times for stuff going to happen next week. But if something were to happen, they probably have that stuff, ready to go, and so it can look any way they want, but no one's gonna actually get hurt. Um, I do find it interesting because I'm the one who brought this up. I know I did because I said, well, I find it kind of interesting that Carter did all the stuff to Hope and said before, I have your back. And then when it came down to it, he really didn't have her back. So why did he say that? Well, he's going to have to answer to her father now next week. And yeah, I'm kind of glad that he's going to have to answer to him actually. Um, because I don't know. And then there was a moment, and see, this happened today too. But sometimes it happens like my mind focuses on one storyline and I get really invested, and then sometimes I forget other ones because they're like small storylines and they're not really pivotal at the point. So, you know. Okay, so the one I'm talking about is with Ridge and Brooke. Now, uh, I know I keep saying it. I know it. No, I sound like a broken record, and I'm trying not to. I promise. But what these people see in Ridge, I don't understand. I don't get it for the life of me. I don't get it. He doesn't choose anybody. Okay, so I'm gonna do my own version of like couples um theater. Okay, this is Rich, and I'm gonna be the women in this scenario, and I'm gonna try to do a manly voice. Okay, for a minute here. This is Ridge with Brooke. Okay, y'all, I love you, but you did something you weren't supposed to do. So now I choose Brooke. And I don't really want to be with you. I've made a commitment with Taylor. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. And and this is Brooke. Well, we have a connection, but I guess you don't feel it right now, but I do. I still want to be back with you, Ridge, because I believe in the connection that we have. And then Taylor, yay! I'm so happy to be second. I don't care that you haven't picked me, and every time you pick me, it's because you haven't picked the other one, or the other one pissed you off. But yay, I'm second. What? Okay, if this was real life, that would not happen. No woman or man, but for this scenario, a woman, would let a man treat you like that. Really? Okay, moving on. I find it really curious that Finn and Steffi, they want you to believe that Finn and Steffi are like this, or more like this, meaning on top of each other, intertwined in each other all the time, 24/7. However, who is the person who discovered Liam today? Steffi. Who is the one who was with Liam in the hospital today? Steffi. And who is left at home alone? Although not alone, with somebody. Liam's daughter. I'm not going to pick one. I know it's either Kelly or Beth, so whatever. But, and I'm sorry, but okay, you got to give me a little grace here. There are never kids on the show. And if there are kids on the show, I know which kid I'm talking about. So, okay, let's talk about something else for a minute here. I had a moment of eye candy for about 2 minutes because uh Tanner. Okay, okay, I'm gonna be a person without hormones for 1 minute. Um, Tanner Novlin then was left alone, and he decided to jump in the pool or something, and then he had to towel off. So that means I get to see a shirtless Tanner Novlin today. Wow, impressive. Okay, but besides that, I'm sorry, I'm a female. Okay, I usually don't get to see hot men, so um. On another note, he is good with the kids, though. I gotta give him credit for that. Okay. So, okay, going back to what I was talking about. Um, you're supposed to believe that Steffi and Finn are inseparable, but she was with Liam in his time of need. And what are the odds that she's gonna be there when he wakes up? And she's not gonna be with her husband. And what's she gonna say when her husband asks her, why asks her, where were you? What happened? Stuff like that. What is going to be her answer here? And why did she leave him in the lurch? And with no explanation for anything. None. Okay. And here's another point. Um, okay. Uh, if the situation was different and it was Steffi who was being left alone and Ben was out gallivanting somewhere and he just happened to run into his ex and he wasn't answering the phone. Steffi didn't know where he was. You know, consider the scenario just different people. Okay? I don't think Steffi would take it too well. I don't think Steffi would be really understanding. And then this goes back into way back. Okay, now you're gonna have to go back in your brain a little bit for this one. But remember when Steffi and Liam kissed twice and Finn still doesn't know anything about that? And everybody that I know has been talking about when is she gonna get when is he gonna find out? How is he gonna find out? And how is she gonna handle it whenever it comes out? So, ladies and gentlemen, we might have reached the point at which they are going to talk about what happened in the past with Liam and Stephanie. And I'm not talking about the distant past. I'm talking about the most recent past when they were in I forget. I think it was Italy. Yeah, because Hope was with somebody and Liam was hurt, or that's when Liam tried to be with Hope, but Hope was with Thomas already, and so he got his little feelings hurt. And then Steffi just happened to be there, and they kissed each other twice. And Finn doesn't know anything about it. And I've been saying for a year, give or take a year, uh, she should have to explain that. And and when is she gonna have to deal with it? I don't know. It's looking a little shady from where I'm sitting because yeah, you know, and with how hard Steffi has been on Finn about the recent development of Luna being his daughter and how everyone in Steffi's family has trashed Luna as Finn's daughter, and then she did what she did. I mean, yeah, she doesn't have another kid, but she does have some secrets. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So I don't know if it's gonna come out next week, but it's gonna come out soon. And then also, this might feed into what I've been saying. Uh, May Sweeps is coming up. All this stuff might come out at that point. I mean, it might come out now, but then if it comes out now, you'll might see the ripple effects of that in about a month. We're talking about a month here, so it's doable. We'll just have to see what happens. All right, bye, guys.